bought a MINIAK in 2013. Back then I was struggling to find the perfect tool to use on stage. It shouldn't be hard, but as it turned out, it was almost impossible to find it, and spoiler alert, it still is, at least for the specific purpose I have in mind. Instead of using a laptop, I would much rather have a machine that would allow me to play an intro, a verse for as long as I want, a chorus, tweak some knobs for filter cutoff, envelopes or other parameters, play some keys on top of that with my right hand, also give me the freedom to use my other gear to create vocal loops and change voice effects in real time. I've tried different groove boxes, sequencers, some samplers, but never felt the connection I was expecting to find. It wasn't easy to use on stage, was a bit fiddly, at least for the kind of playability that I need. I also hate the idea of pressing play in a machine to start a song. As for that, we can all use our phones these days, right? So the MINIAK was an incredible surprise. With the latest firmware update, we can create MIDI patterns up to 16 bars long. And if we change the tempo to half the BPM, then we have 32 bars immediately. And although it says it's 8-part multi-timbral, I'm pretty sure that we can play more than 8 parts, at least in the keyboard. They might share the same MIDI channels, to a maximum of 8 channels, but we can play more parts with a built-in keyboard. I'm pretty sure it has this feature. Correct me if I'm wrong. By pressing a key, we can play a scene with multiple sequences, like Ableton Live does. That was it. For a few weeks, I thought I found it. The MINIAK seemed like the ultimate companion should I ever need to play a gig on my own. But with more complex patterns, I had started to notice dropouts in sounds. Sometimes I stopped listening a kick drum, a bass line disappeared, or a long envelope immediately stopped. For that, we can use another MINIAK. So I bought another one, and for a few days, the problem looked solved, but then the memory was full. Yeah, the memory was full. And that's my biggest problem with the MINIAK. I understand it only having a push knob for doing everything in this deep menu diving with a calculator screen size. It could have 20 more knobs or faders for tweaking parameters, but the lack of an SD or CF card for saving our work, our sequences, our sounds, giving the limited memory, I can't really understand that. It's just not good enough. I still love it regardless. And I look at this synth as a personal benchmark. If you know any synth with this sort of capabilities, of a similar size and value, please let me know. I know the digital keys can do something like this, but it's only 4-part multi-timbral. There's the limit of 2 voices per part. It only has 64 steps, and that's 4 bars. If it could have 16 bars like the Maniac, 64 voices, and 16-part multi-timbral for the same price, it would be a no-brainer for me. But I also own a Korg Triton Extreme, which has a similar approach to this sort of workflow. And with Korg's RPPR technology, I thought it could be a good option for replacing the Maniac. But on top of being too heavy, we can't assign multiple patterns to the same key. We need to spread the patterns. It also has tons of sounds I won't ever use, and I can't delete them like one can with the Maniac. I never bought RAM for the sampler nor the expansion mouseboard. A while ago I found this thread at Gearslurts, okay, now it's Gearspace, about Brett Victor, the mastermind behind the Ulysses MICRON. I wonder why is he the only person on earth who ever thought about this kind of sequencer? Why isn't there anything like it in the market? Please, Korg, Electron, Roland, Yamaha, Model, Waldorf, Teenage Engineering. Thank you, Mr. Brett Victor. Maybe there's a way with the MPC Live to Machine Plus or even Verse Lab, but I'm not sure. The Yamaha Modi X can also behave a bit like this, at least like the Triton. I have one there, so I'll explore that as soon as I can.